Buttons can have one of several styles. I showed you what the button default class looked like in the last video. In addition to that, buttons can have one of 6 additional styles. Those styles are primary, success, info, warning, danger, and link. They look like this. Buttons can have sizes too. Like the input sizes I talked about in the last video, buttons can be large, small, or even extra small. If those sizes aren't enough for you, you can make buttons that span the full width of a parent block by adding the class button block. By default, buttons will automatically have a focus and an active state when you hover over them and click them. You can force this active state by using the active class on the button. You can also use all these button styles on A tags. You can make a button appear disabled by adding a disabled attribute to the button tag or the disabled class to an A tag. For better cross-browser compatibility, it's best practice to use the button tag, but you can also use button styles on input tags. You can group buttons to look like a single element by using the button group wrapper. And using the JavaScript buttons component, you can make your checkboxes or radios appear in button groups by just adding a data toggle buttons to the button group wrapper. You can group button groups too by using Button Toolbar. This allows you to have multiple sets of button groups. Like buttons, whole button groups can be sized with classes like Button Group Large. Again, you can make them bigger with large, smaller with SM, or extra small with XS. Button groups can be nested inside other button groups. For example, if you wanted a drop-down inside another menu. Button groups can be stacked vertically too, with the Button Group Vertical class. In other cases, you might need your button group to span the entire width of the parent container. In these cases, you can add Button Group Justified to your Button Group base class. Want a button for your drop-down anchor? You got it. Add drop-down toggle to the button to make it a trigger for a drop-down menu. We'll look at building drop-down menus later in this module. It's also possible to create a button dropdown where the dropdown anchor is part of a button group. Let me show you what I mean. Here, the link and the caret are 2 separate elements in a button group. This way you can make the link go to one place and the caret just toggle the dropdown rather than the top level item toggling the menu. Don't like drop downs? What about drop-ups? This works the same way, but with a drop-up class on the button group. Notice though that the toggle and the menu are both still using drop-down. Between the built-in button and form styles in Bootstrap, you can do some really interesting things with buttons and forms in which even unstyled forms and buttons look better by default.